Most families don't operate like a family should. They're really just a household of individuals working, being busy, and no time for others, and have their own goals and aspirations, and likely doing their own thing. There is that one person trying to pay off debt, racking their brain, but going nowhere. Another is trying to save money, but doesn't want to spend it. They say, only in emergencies. Okay, so you're waiting for something bad to happen? Another is trying to invest and is an imaginary billionaire with 35 cents in their bank account. Another one is just trying to survive until payday, just to be broke again. Everybody is working hard or think they are working hard, but nobody is moving in the same direction and getting nowhere. And that's the problem. Not that the family is broke, it's that the family has no economy. Let's think about this. Every person in your family has skills, abilities, experiences, something they can contribute. Even the one that just creates a mold in your couch gives you the skills of persuasion, assertiveness, negotiation, that if you are able to somehow motivate them, they will be able to finally contribute and at a minimum, clean the house. Got a little off track, but when those assets are brought together, the whole becomes greater than the individual. Let me repeat, because I think you all didn't hear me on this one. But when those assets are brought together, the whole becomes greater than the individual. Think about a successful country. There are different businesses, organizations, people with different skills, workers, leaders, and followers that all come together to keep this thing we call an economy running. And the more united and aligned all inside a country is, the stronger the economy becomes. So why wouldn't the same principle apply to families? Now, don't get me wrong, some families have that lazy homie, the one that eats up all your food, leaves the dishes in the sink, acts like taking out the trash deserves a medal. I'm not talking about that homie. I'm talking about the people that contribute. Because right now, what usually happens, money comes in, right behind it, it's homie stress because those bills need to get paid. Then whatever is left gets spent, and that's it. Nothing grows, nothing multiplies, nothing gets passed on. And one day, your kids will face the same struggles you faced. Not because you don't love them, but because nobody built a system for them. Everybody just repeats the same cycle, month after month, year after year, generation after generation. But if we look to scripture, we see a different picture. Proverbs chapter 13 verse 22 says, "A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children." Proverbs chapter 14 verse 1 says, "The wise woman builds her house, but the foolish pulls it down with her hands." 1 Timothy chapter 5 verse 8 says, "But if anyone does not provide for his own, and especially for those of his household, he has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever." Those verses tell me something. God never intended for families to operate in survival mode. He intended them to build, to provide, to grow, to leave something behind. So the question needs to be asked, are you really broke? Or is the family simply operating as a group of individuals instead of a unified economy? Because when there is no mission, everybody creates their own. When there is no plan, everybody builds their own. Think about the military. The army isn't successful because one soldier does everything. It works because thousands of people with different jobs and responsibilities come together under one mission, different sections, different units, one purpose. Families should operate the same way, not necessarily in the military sense, but with a mission, with a plan, with leadership, with coordination, with systems. To give you an example, let's take my family. My family isn't perfect. Far from it. We've got challenges just like everybody else. But when we stopped focusing on all the poo-poo and focused on bringing things together and operating like an economy instead of a group of individuals, things started changing. The paycheck to paycheck lifestyle started disappearing. Opportunities started showing up. Stress started to go down. We stopped working. We stopped wondering how we'd make it through the month and started asking what we wanted to build next. Something that could actually outlive us. Not just money, but again, things like skills, values, systems, assets, opportunities. things that can be passed down, and that's what this channel is about. I'm Alex. This is Valor Edge Strategies, where bold decisions lead to victory. Through trial and error, military service, faith, and a lot of hard lessons, I've learned something. Strong families aren't built by accident. They're built intentionally. And over the coming videos, we're going to talk about how to build a real family economy. We're going to talk about faith, family, finance, leadership, military principles, building systems, creating cash flow, building wealth, and protecting what matters. Not because they're separate topics, but because together they create the foundation of a strong family economy and creating opportunities for future generations. Because none of those things exist by themselves. They're all connected. And when they're working together, families stop operating in survival mode, stop being at each other's throats, and start operating with purpose. We're just not going to talk theory. I'm going to show you what worked for my family, the wins, the mistakes, the lessons, the systems, and the strategies that helped us move forward. This isn't another channel that's going to tell you to cut out the coffee and hope for the best, because I love my coffee and it's a little bit of my happiness. This is about building something bigger than yourself. A family economy, a family legacy, a family that can withstand hard times and create opportunities when others don't see them. So if that sounds like something you want for your family, subscribe and join us, because we're just getting started. Before we go, I want to leave you with this. Building a family economy isn't easy. If it was, everybody would do it. There will be setbacks, there will be disagreements, there will be times where it feels like nothing is working. But every worthwhile mission is difficult in the beginning. The key to keep moving forward is to keep building, improving, and having faith. We can look to Mark chapter 11, verse 22 to 24, where it says, "So Jesus answered and said to them, 'Have faith in God, for surely I say to you, whoever says to this mountain, be removed and be cast into the sea, and does not doubt in his heart, but believes that those things he says will be done, he will have whatever he says. Therefore I say to you, whatever things you ask when you pray, believe that you will receive them, and you will have them.'" This video attracted you because you are the source for your family, and it's likely that you will be the one to be the example and steer them in the right direction. Nobody is coming to save your family. It is our responsibility to build it. So no more waiting. Let's get to work. I'm Alex. This is Valor Edge Strategies, where bold decisions lead to victory. Family first, God above all, strategy always be compounding. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.